What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Mr. Bitcoin Maxi here. I'm Mr. Bitcoin Maxi, where we stack sats and stay free. Now, what happened to Bitcoin? $108,000. We were just at 120, then we went down to 109, went up to 100 and I think it was 11, 12, 13, hovered around there. Now we are down to 108. Now, what happened was a big whale selling $24 billion worth of Bitcoin. And honestly, my reaction to it is good. A lot of people might see it as, well, why are you saying good, Mr. Bitcoin Maxi? Why are you saying this is a good thing that Bitcoin is going down? Well, for me, I like prices when Bitcoin is down. Now, do I want them to stay there forever? No, I don't. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't want it to stay there forever. But in the meantime, when Bitcoin is where it's at and it continues to go down a little bit, that's a good thing, because then you really get it for a deal, you know? And you guys got to start seeing it that way. You guys got to start seeing it as, okay, well, the market right now is kind of down, and so you guys might not want to see as much gains as you would like to, but the catch is with the Fed coming out with the interest rates, might be possibly cutting them, we're possibly going to see a decline in the market before we see it going up. Now, this is just my prediction, but if the Fed does cut rates, we are going to see Bitcoin most likely go down. And then I think it's just going to shoot up eventually. But when it does, I don't know. But we will, I think, here in the next month, by the end of September, I think we will get back to $124,000 Bitcoin. Now, what am I going to do in the meantime? Well, usually what I do is I dollar cost average more on the dips. And so a lot of people, they get shaken out of the market. They sell when Bitcoin is going down like this. It creates panic with other people where it's like, oh my God, I got to sell my Bitcoin, so I don't lose even more money. But the catch is that, to me, those people don't really have a long-term mindset on Bitcoin. Those people are most likely over leveraging themselves. Those people are most likely putting all of their paycheck into it that they need to live off of. And that's not the way, in my opinion, people should be doing that type of stuff. Now, if you dollar cost average, but at the same time, you have money set aside, so when the market does take a hit like it has, today, then that's okay. You're like, hey, I could take a little bit more money and put it into Bitcoin because I have some cash on the side ready to go. And that's what I always recommend. I'm not a financial advisor, everybody, but that's always what I recommend, because you never know, because Bitcoin is so volatile. But I think that as time goes on, we will get more stable in the markets. We won't see as big a volatility as when, of course, Bitcoin first came out. But I think over the years, the volatility will get less and less. However, of course, we still will be volatile, just exactly like stocks are, for example, depending on micro and macroeconomics and the current state of the world. However, this is just my take on it. I think everybody should have a mindset that's like, look, I like my gains, but at the same time, I'm looking like 20 years out. I'm looking really far out. But being able to position yourself now to where you have enough cash flow to put more into Bitcoin when it takes a hit like this is, I think, the best thing somebody can ultimately do. And that's how I've been able to build my Bitcoin portfolio to where it is now, because when markets really take a hit, that's when I'm going in there and I'm like, hey, I'm going to put more money into it. But at the same time, I still keep cash reserves in case it keeps going down, right? And so that's where I think everybody should be at. I don't really think that everybody should be scared when the market goes down, because you have to see it as a buying opportunity, right? You have to see it as, well, I can put more money into it. I can invest into my future. I can save. And Bitcoin, in my opinion, is the best thing you can save your money in, but only if you're looking at it at a long-term horizon. If you're swing trading it, I really don't recommend that, because swing trading it, to me, it's just not really a good thing. And look at how many liquidations are happening because what's been going on with Bitcoin. When people didn't even really think that Bitcoin was going to hit 124,000, and look how many people got liquidated on that. And then now look at people getting liquidated on it going down to $108,000 on the perpetuals, and when they're longing and shorting Bitcoin. So that's something that you guys have to understand, that all that money that is being lost, and that's something in my other video that I talk about, is I had to learn from losing money trying to outtime the market, being like, what, I can make more money if I invest in try and swing trade meme coins. I can make more money if I swing trade NFTs. I can make more money if I go into perpetuals, longing and shorting Bitcoin. And it's gotten me wrecked, to be honest. And all that money, when I look back on it, I'm like, it was learning lessons. I could have been saving that money into Bitcoin, but at the same time, I could have been building my cash reserves for times like these. It's like, oh my goodness, Bitcoin is on a discount today while everybody's selling. I'm scooping more of it up into my stack, right? And you have to understand that there's only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever exist. You know how many people there are in the world? So the more you're stacking, the more you're positioning yourself to not be, should I say, poor, then a lot of people are going to end up, because look at just the way everything is going. And I don't mean to be a negative Nancy in this video, but you have to see it as things are only getting more expensive. And if the Fed cuts rates, that's going to make inflation go crazy. And I'm telling you, a lot of people, if they think things are expensive now, just wait until the Fed cuts rates. Things are about to get, I think, really bad in the next few years, But however, with a positive outlook on investing, because I used to be one of those people that like to save cash. And then I noticed over the years, that's what got me into investing, was I noticed a lot of things over the years get more and more expensive, And then I started learning about investing. And then my take on it was, when the markets take a hit, that's when I can go in there and buy more of things, right? And then I started getting into Bitcoin, and it's outperformed every other thing that I've ever invested in. So that's why I'm all in on Bitcoin. And so you guys have to see it as, again, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but you guys have to see it that way. You guys have to really be like, look, I don't want to keep stressing about my future. I don't want to keep stressing about, where I'm going to be at in the future, and how much eggs are going to be. And, it's crazy. You see all these videos online where it's like eggs to $20, eggs to $25. God forbid that. But imagine if a world comes to that, which eggs right now in the Bay Area where I'm at, they're like $10 for a dozen. It's crazy. So if you think about it, when the Fed cuts rates, which they're most likely going to by the end of the year, eggs will probably be like 14, 15 bucks by the end of the year, early next year. And so the price of Bitcoin is going to just keep going up. And so you guys are basically positioning yourself to be like, look, the more, even if you're putting in $5 a day or, $100 a month or whatever you guys can afford to put in, at least putting in something is better than nothing, and putting, cash reserves on the side. So when Bitcoin takes a hit like it did today, like, look, I can put an extra $10 today. I could put an extra $5 in there today, and just really maximizing your cash flow. And so now what's crazy is a lot of people, they need like 3 jobs just to sustain themselves, depending on where you live. In the Bay Area, it's really expensive. And I'm telling you, I live in the Bay Area, and it's really, really expensive. I love the weather, though. Definitely love the weather, but to be honest, I don't like the prices. And, I think right now the market is getting a little shaken by what's going on with the Fed, and of course by all these whales that are continuously selling. And so when the whales are selling, it's actually a healthy thing, because what happens is that you have the average person, the average person, like middle class, they're able to go in there and buy some of it from these whales, and it's getting distributed across, the middle class. So that's actually a good thing. So I want to come on and make this video. I like making these vlog style videos and just talking with you guys and connecting with you guys. And so, yeah, my favorite to be honest, is educating you guys and doing these vlog style videos, because it's really therapeutic just to get to know you guys and you guys to know me. Seeing what you guys post in the comments is really nice. And I appreciate everybody that subscribed lately. So yeah, if you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe button, and I will be coming out with more videos. So hope you guys take care, and remember, stay free, stack sats. Have a good one.